Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to learn how to implement a cart system. Okay, so cart systems are very helpful, and if you have an e-commerce app or any booking app where you have a lot of products and you want to add them to cart and then to the checkout page. So in today's video, we are going to learn that, and I will be using Block here for state management. Okay, so we will go with the simplest implementation of the cart system here, and I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube. They are on a lot of like series way, which are good and nice if you want to deeply learn about how to implement that. But in this video we are going to keep it simple and quick. Okay, so first thing first, I have an empty project here set up, and as you can see we have a theme here, and all this code will be available on GitHub, so you can go and check out from there if you want to implement the exact thing. But this is just for you to learn, and this is the theme here which we are using. And I have also created a widget called product widget here, which will be also available. It's just basically a widget that displays the products. Okay, so first thing first, we are going to go to the pubspec YAML, and we're going to add some dependencies here. Okay, and the first dependency we are going to need is Flutter block, and next we need collections, and we also need get. Now get here is optional. If you want to use the default Flutter navigation system, then you can use it. For this project I'm using get. Okay, so we need these three dependencies, and we're also going to create a new folder here, and let's call it assets folder. And inside the assets folder we are going to add some images for our products. So, and also make sure to add the location here in the assets. So it will be something like this, and we say assets. And so now the project knows that we have some images in our assets folder. Now after that we are going to just hit pub get. Okay, now I have added some images here, and you can get any random images from the internet. Okay, so we have 5 images here, and we are going to create 5 products here. Okay, so that's why we have 5 images. All right, so first thing, I'm going to convert this material app into a get app. So I will just write get here, and I can just use the suggestion. Okay, so we are going to create some directories here. First will be blocks. This will hold all our blocks, and after that we need a models directory, and we need a screen directory, screens. Okay, inside the screens we will create a new dot file called homepage, and inside that we will create a stateful widget homepage. Let me just do that. Okay, so we will leave this, we will come back to this later. After that we are going to create a model called product. Let's create a class called product. Inside that we will have 4 properties: int id, final string name of the product, final string image for the product, and final double price for the product. And after that we will add the constructor here, named constructors. And after that we will just create factory methods here. So product from map, and it's going to be map string. Now one thing, I'll also let you know that I'm not using any sort of online remote data source, so I'm just using local list of products. So if you want to implement like Firebase, Superbase, or any database, then it's very simple. You just need to create a repository, and you can just link it to the block. So if you want, then comment below, and I will show you how to implement Firebase or Superbase or any other database. Okay, so it's a string dynamic, and we will say map. Inside that we will return the product. Here we will say id as int, name as string, sorry, yeah, okay, price as double. And we will create a to map as well. although we don't need it, but we can create just in case we want to do something with it later. Sorry. And here we have id with id, name, name, image, price. Yes. All right, so this is done. Now after that we will have a list here, and I have actually created the list already just to save some time. It's just a normal list with the list is final. It's called products list, and it has a type of product, which is basically we just created the model here. And inside that I have added 5 products here, so you can see. And all you have to do is give it the id, the name, the assets location. So for example, for this one, camera lens, if you go to assets folder, you can find there's an image of camera lens here. So, and after that we just add the price. So you can add as many products as you want, and yeah, we will use this list to display the products. Okay, so for the next part we are going to create now the block. Okay, so if you come to the blocks, and we will create a new directory here called product, just to keep the code separate in different. So we are going to create directory here. After that, if you don't have the extension for plugin installed, I'm using IntelliJ. If you have VS Code, you can go to the extensions tab and you can download the blocks. And if you are in Android Studio, you can install the block, this one. And after that you can see the options here. So right click new, you will see the block class option here. Okay, and we will click on that and we will name it as product block. And you can choose the style, equitable, freeze, and basic. We are just going to stick with basic. All right, so our block is created now. First thing, we will go to the events class here, and inside this we will write class load product, extend product event. Now we only have one event here, so just since we only want to load products, okay, so we will just have one event here, and that's all. We can close this file now. Next is the state class. So here inside we will create 3 more classes here. First will be final class product loading extends product state. This will basically so if this is the state, we will show the circular progress indicator. So it basically says like products are loading and please wait. So if you want to add a text or anything else, you can use this state. Next is final class product loaded extends product state. This will have the list of products that we just created, and let me just import the model here, products model that we created earlier. And after that, all we need is a constructor, and that's it. Next is our product error. And this is just in case if we get any error, we can show with this state. Okay, this will, when the products are loaded, we can display all the products. Okay, so these are the classes we need for our state. Okay, now we will come to our block, the main class, and not using meta, or we're not using our block. So let's re-import it as Flutter block, and also import material here. Okay, so all the warnings and errors will go away. Okay, so first here we are going to create an instance for our list of product here, and we will call this products. And in our constructor of the final product block, we are going to say this dot products. So basically we will provide the products list from our main.dot file, where we will initiate the product block. So after that, we have a product event here called, so let's change it to load products, and let's make it async. Now to load the products here, first we will emit our product loading state here, so we can show the progress indicator that the products are being loaded. After that, we will say try and catch, and we're going to catch if any error happens, and we are going to emit them using our the state that we created earlier, error.toString. So if any error, it will go through this. Okay, so we are going to add some intentional delay here because we are using local list for the products. So if we load it directly, it will load very quickly. So to seem to like it's getting loaded from internet, we are going to add some delay here. So what I'm going to type await, and we will say future dot delay, and we can say duration, and in seconds we will add the 2 seconds delay here. Okay, after that we are going to emit our product loaded state, and inside the products we can just simply pass the product list that we got from here. Okay, that's all we need to do for our product block class. Very simple. First we emit loading state, we add some delay, we load the product. If there is any error, we are going to pass the error. Okay, let's close that. And since we are on the main screen now, let's wrap this into a block provider, and inside the block provider let's add our product block here. Okay, and inside that it requires a thing. First let me import this, and this is asking for our product block, and inside this it requires the list that we created earlier. This list, we need that here, so we'll say product list. That's all we need to do. And here let's also change the theme to my theme. Okay, and let's give a home page here, home page. Alright, so that's all we need to do for now, and let's get back to our home page now. Now inside this we need to create a scaffold first. App bar and app bar. Let's add a title here, let's say cart system, and after that let's add a body. Now here I am going to create first a block builder, and here we will say product block and product state, and inside that we are going to have a builder with context and state. Now we will first check if the state is product loaded, then we are going to create a list view dot list view, and inside that we will have index. Now for the item count we will say state dot products dot length. Now this products is coming from our state that we pass on. Okay, all right, so after that we will return. Now I have created this product widget. This basically has 4 parameters: name, image, price, and on tap. So what happens when you tap on the product? Okay, so I have added an image here, and you can get this code from my GitHub page, okay, for this project, and you can just copy it from there. We have a text, name, a price, and we have a button, an icon button that can add to the cart. So we have not implemented the cart yet, we're just working on the project. Okay, so this is the widget that we're going to use here. So I will say product widget. Let's just put it in a variable so we can access it easily. Product equals to state dot products and index. Now for each products we have a single access, so say product dot name, product dot image, and here product dot price. And for the on tap we're just going to initialize it like this for now. Okay. So this is all done for our product loaded. Now we will check else if state is product loading, then we can simply return center child text, sorry, not text, circular progress indicator. All right, and otherwise we are going to return a size box. Okay. Now you can also add one more thing here. So let's say if you don't have any products in your list or in your data source, then you can say here if state products is empty. Okay, if the list is empty, then you can return a center child text or whatever widget you want, and you can say no products or something like that. So this will only display if there are no products. If there are some products, it will display this. Okay, so you can add this, although we don't have an empty, so we don't need to do that. Okay, so this is all done for our homepage class to load products. The only thing left is init state. We want to call the event, so we want to call this block event load product. So to do that, we will do it in init state. We will say context dot read, and inside that we will add our product block, and we will add the event. Our event is load products. That's all, and that's it. Now if we run our project here, all right, as you can see, we have loaded the products from our local list. As you can see, we have image, name, product, and we have an add to cart button here. Now nothing happens when we tap because we have not implemented that. Okay, so yeah, this is how we can do all the products. And let's restart again, hot restart, so we can see the loading. As you can see, although I need to change the color, so let's say always stop animation, and we can say colors dot theme. So now if we do a hard restart, yes, that looks better, and we can see that it is a 2-second delay. Now if we remove the delay here, let's say I comment this and hard restart again, as you can see, it loaded instantly. So to create that effect of, they're loading from the network, we can just add a future delay. Okay, so now we will start working on our cart block and cart screen. So let's just close all these other files. Okay, so first thing, we are going to create a directory here called cart, and we will create cart block, same basic, and then so cart block is created. I will close that for now, and we will come to our models class, and we're going to create a new new .file called cart, and here we will create a class cart items. Inside that we will have final product, and we will have a quantity. So this basically, it's a cart item, so for each individual product we will have like a cart system here. So we will say int, and we will say quantity. Okay, and after that we will create the constructor here, and for this one we will say this dot quantity equals to 1. Now the quantity will always be 1 if the item is added. So for example, if you click on add to cart, it will always have this one quantity. Okay, if it doesn't have, then the cart will be empty. All right, so after that we are going to create our copy with method. Basically allows us to copy the cart items. So let's say if we want to add more of the same product, we will use the copy method. Okay, so we will say cart items copy with. Inside that we will have product, and we will have int quantity, and after that we will return cart item, and here we will say product, this dot product, and same for the quantity as well. You can say quantity, this dot quantity. All right, so this is our cart item completed. We don't need anything else inside this. Now let's create another class here called cart. Now this is our main cart class, and we will have a final list of cart items, and we can call them items. And that's all we need here. And we will create the constructor. After that, we will also create copy method for this one as well. Copy with we'll have list of cart items with items, and can say return cart item this dot item. And inside this we will also have another method to calculate the price for the entire cart. So we will say double get total price. Okay, and then we can say return. Now we will say item start. We will use the fold method here. As you can see, it takes an initial value and a combined value. Okay, and let's give it a type of double here. So for the initial value we will put 0, and for the combined value we are going to say sum and item, and after that we are going to say sum plus item dot product dot price multiply by item dot quantity. Now here quantity is saying it can be null as we have given here, so for that we will just say put a null check here. And that's it. So whatever the price is, it will multiply with the quantity. So if we have 149, it will be 300. Okay, so this will basically calculate the price for us. All right, so that's all for our model cart model class. Okay, now let's come to our block here. Let's go to the event. Now for the event we will have uh, two events: add to cart, remove from cart. Okay, so we will say class add to cart extends cart event. Now inside this we will add the product. So say final product. And I will just copy and paste this because it's the same. We just need to change the name. Remove from cart. Okay, and let's change that. Okay, so we have two events that we'll use. First one is add, and then second one is remove. After that we come to the state. Now here we will not have an loading state. If you want you can add, but I will not add here. Cart loaded extends cart state. Inside that we will have our cart and final cart error. If there is an error we will say, sorry I forgot the class here, extends cart state. This one will simply say final string error. That's it. So that's all we need to do for our cart state, and we close that file as well. Next we will come to our block here. Let's first import Flutter block and let's import material. Okay, and after that inside our block class, first thing we are going to do is we are going to put a cart loaded in our super constructor. So as you can see, it says here cart initialize. We're going to replace that with cart loaded, and we're going to put our cart with an empty list. Okay, after that we will say add to cart event. We will say if the state is cart loaded. Oops. If the state is cart loaded, then we are going to say final cart equals to state as cart loaded dot cart. So this is basically that we're making sure that the cart is loaded. If we don't do this, we cannot access the cart here. So that is why it is necessary to do it like this. And then we say if existing item. Okay, so let's say if our cart has already an item, then we don't want to, we want to just increase the quantity of the product. So if we have this product already in our cart, we don't want to add the same product again. We want to add, just increase the quantity if tapped on the add to cart. Okay, so we will say if existing cart, then we can say cart dot items and we can check first where or null. So this is the method that we use the collection for. And for this one, we will say item item dot product dot id equals to event dot product dot id. So if the id matches, then it will check for that and we will store it here. If there is, then it will store inside this. Okay, after that we are going to say if existing cart is not equals to null. So if there is an existing product, then we are going to return an updated final list. Update final updated items equals to cart dot items dot map item, and after that, sorry, you can return say item dot product dot id equals to event dot product dot id. Here we are going to basically increase the quantity. Okay, so we will say if it is the case, then we say item dot copy with say quantity item dot quantity plus 1. So this will basically increase the quantity, and we also need to add a null check here. Okay, and if it is not the case, then we will just simply return the item. That's all. So what is happening here? First we have our cart. Okay, then we check for existing items. So if our cart has the same item, okay, then it compares it using this first of random. After that, we check if existing item is not equal to null, then we have the updated items here, and we check if the items, if it is the same, then we say product dot, and we copy and increase the quantity of the product. So if I click on this, if there is same product, it will just increase the quantity. All right, so after that, I need to also return it to a list, otherwise it will not work as it is a list. After that, we need to emit it. So we will say emit, and we say cart loaded, and inside that we need to just pass, sorry, with cart dot items, not copy with method. Yes, since we are updating it, so we say updated items. There you go. So now this will basically update the cart every time. If that is the case, then that happens. If let's say if we don't have the product, then we can simply say emit cart loaded, and we say cart dot copy with some reason I cannot access this. It's probably going outside the state. Yes, it is. Okay, so you need to do it here. There you go. I got out of the if else block here, so it needs to be inside this one. Okay, after that we say list dot from, and we say cart dot items, and after that we will use the spread operator here, and we will add the cart item to our list, and it's asking for product. We will say event dot product. So this will basically add to an empty list, and it will just pass out. So if it is empty, so let's say if this product is not in our cart system, if I click, it will create a list and it will pass out. All right, so that's all for our add to cart, and the same is for our remove from cart as well. So we say on remove from cart event emit, and here we will say if state is cart loaded. The first part is totally same, so it's a cart, and then it is state as cart loaded dot cart, and then we say final existing. Actually, I'm going to just copy and paste this since it is same for checking. And after that, we need to check if existing existing items, if existing items is not equals to null. We also need to make one more check here. We also check if existing items dot quantity is greater than 0. Okay, and let's add a null check here so it stops, and then we say final updated items equals to cart dot items dot map, and then we say item, and this will be also to list, so let's just add one. And then we simply return our item equals to existing item. Now we will directly check if the items are equal to existing item. If it is, then we say item dot copy with the product, and then we say quantity item dot quantity null check -1, as we are going to remove it, and otherwise we can just simply return the item. So hopefully you get it. We have create a map, and then we check if the existing item matches, then we copy with, and then we remove it. Pretty straightforward. After that, we will just emit our cart loaded again. Same thing, cart copy with items, and inside the items we will just pass on the updated list. And after that, if it's not, then we say final updated items equals to list of cart dot items. Okay, first we have the list of items, and then after that we will just say here remove where. Okay, we will use the remove where item dot product dot id equals to event dot product dot id. So wherever the id matches with that product, it will remove it, and after that we'll just emit our cart loaded, and then we say cart dot copy with, and then we say items, and that we just pass on our updated items here. Okay, so that's all. So wherever it finds matches the id, it will remove for that one. Okay, so now we are going to implement the cart screen now, as we're done with our block. Let's create a new dot file here called cart screen, and let's make a stateful cart screen. Let's fix that. Now for the cart screen, I think about it, I can make this stateless because we don't need to call the block, so we can make it stateless. Okay, so scaffold hyper title text says cart, and that's it. After that we will add a body. Now here we will add our block builder. This time we will use cart block and cart state, and builder context and state. All right, and here we will check if state is cart loaded, and now here we can check that if the cart is empty, then we can show something. So we say state dot cart dot items is empty. If it is empty, then we can return constant center child text. It will say uh, your cart is empty, and we can also add this emoji here. Okay, so after that we will leave that one. If that is the case, then we can simply return a column here, and we will say expanded list view here, list view dot printf context index, and inside this we are going to create a list style, and the list style will have a title, will have a subtitle and trailing. Subtitle and a trailing. Now for the trailing, we are going to create a row, and inside that we will create two icon buttons and a text. Okay, so let's say icon button, and this will be icon start remove. We will copy this and we'll paste it again. This will be for add, and in between we can add a text, says quantity, and inside that we can say item dot quantity. Now we have not created this item, so we need to do that. Yes, which we will do in a bit. So let's just do it. So here we can say where the list is created. So final item is to state dot cart index. So cart dot items. There you go. And then we have access to that. Okay. For the title, I will just add text here. It simply says item dot product dot name, and for the subtitle we can add text as well, item dot product dot price. We can take it to two strings, or we can use this interpolations. Okay. Now we also need to do the multiplication here. So we will say if item product price multiply by item quantity. I'll check. This will basically multiply a price and show. Since you're not going to call that, let's make this main exercise to be minimum. Let's add here context read. Now we will say add to cart, and we say add the word. So in my I need to add the block, and then we add to cart here, and for that item dot product will be provided for that. Now same for remove here. All we need to do is just change this add to remove. All right, so that is our trailing done and all that. Okay, so after that we will add something downside here as well. After the expanded, we will say if state cart items is not empty. If it is not empty, then we are going to show our total. So we'll add a padding first of all. Pause edge insert. And let's say 16. Oh, my bad, I just added these. I'm not using the spread operator, so it's not necessary. So my mistake. And after that we will add text here, which will basically display the total of the entire cart. So it's a total, and we can use the escape string here, and we say state dot cart dot total price, and we can say round to make it round since we're using double. And let's make it look nice a little bit, and we'll say style, text style, font size 20, and let's font weight bold, font weight bold. All right, so yeah, and also one more thing, let's also change the styling for this one as well. Font weight bold, font size 18, and the color needs to be deep. There you go. All right, so let's now do one last thing. If the cart state is loaded, then we do all that. Else if the cart, sorry, if the state is cart error, if there is an error, we can return text says error loading cart, and we can also say what the error is. Okay, otherwise we will just return a size box. Okay, so our cart screen is done. Now all we need to do is navigate to it. Now for the navigation, I'm going to add an icon here, and when you click on that icon you can go to the cart screen. So let's create that widget here, and we will make a let's say shopping cart widget, let's call that, and let's make this stateless. That's okay. So we have here block builder. Now the block here will be our cart block and cart state. After that we say context state, and inside that we will check if state is cart loaded. You can say final cart item count equals to state cart items dot. We will store that. After that we will add a gesture detector, okay, child, and inside the child we will have a stack. Now the stack as children, and inside that the first children is our icon button. This will have the shopping cart icon. Icons, oh, sorry. Icons start shopping cart. There you go. And after that, inside our on pressed, we are going to take our user to the cart screen. So it's cart screen. That's it. That's for this one. Next, we are going to say if our cart item count is greater than 0, then only we can show this. So let's say if our cart item count is greater than 0, then only show this widget. And I'm doing again same mistake, just need to do this. So the position and container. So this will basically be the number that shows like 1 2 3 how many items are added. Okay. We will have decoration, box decoration, and we will have color, colors are white, and we will also have a shape which will be a box shape dot circle, and after that we will add a child that is text, and This will basically our cart item count, and let's add some styling to it. Style, text style. Let's say font size will be 14, and let's say color will be teal, and make it bold. Font page needs to be bold. There you go, and that's it for our position widget. And make sure we give the correct position. One more thing, I need to add some heading here. So it's like const and insert all three. Oops. For the positioning part, we will add a bottom of 5 and left 10. Now to the gesture detector, if the cart as is loaded, else we will return an icon button. Icon start shopping cart. This is the default like state of the button. So, like if there is no items, it will show this button, and if you click on this, you will still go to the cart screen. So now let's reload, restart, and let's try. As you see, I cannot see it because we have not added it to our here. So we will come inside app bar and we'll say action. Inside that we can say shopping cart. There you go, and that's it. And let's start restart. Okay. Oh, I forgot to add the provider here, so we can say multi-block provider now, since we are going to use two providers now. So we will say cart block, and it should fix the error. There you go. Now we can see our cart icon. If we go to the cart screen, you can see it says your cart is empty, nothing else. Now if you come back and click on add to cart, nothing happens. This looks like we forgot to add to our home page on tab here because we have not added it. So what we do, we'll basically say context.read, and here we will say cart block dot add to cart, and the product will be that should fix it. Now if I click, as you can see, a number appears here. If I add again, nothing happens, but if I add on different product, click on different product, as you can see the number increases. But if I click once more, the number doesn't increase. If I zoom in and show internet, as you can see, it says 3. If I click on this, nothing happens. But let's go inside the cart. So if you go to the cart, as you can see, we have some error, but as you can see, we have 3 of this product. So if I tap on once more, and if we go to the cart screen, you can see we have 4 products. So looks like we reversed the order of the button. That is an easy fix. I need to go to the cart screen, and let's find our icon button. This needs to be removed from cart, and this needs to be add to cart. Okay, and let's see what this error is saying. Items cart state index. Looks like we forgot to add an item count here. That's why it's complaining about. And if we just do a night, there you go. So we forgot to add the item count here. That's why it was showing error. So now if we click on add, it's adding, and if we remove, it's going to remove. Now it goes to 0, which I don't want. So Let's fix that, because if the quantity is 0, then I just want to remove the product. Let's go to our cart block. Okay, here we are checking if the quantity is greater than 0, which is obviously wrong. We need to make it 1. So now if we do, and if we go and we add to cart, go, if we remove it now, as you can see, it removes the product. So this is the simplest way, easiest way you can implement a cart using block. Obviously there are other methods as well, using providers. Okay, you can use that too, but if you want to use block, then this is how you do it. And yeah, and feel free to comment, and if you have any suggestions, uh, let me know. Okay, so this is it for the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.